Free agency's winding down, and that means we've got a better idea what teams are going to do in the draft. I'm Jeremy Green of NFLDraft.net and ESPN Radio Asheville, and this is a post-free agency 4-round mock draft for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Ain't no truth on the radio station. Somebody owes me an explanation. Well, I get knocked down, I get back up.
The Sportsocracy.
You can see on your screen how the Jacksonville Jaguars lay out. Look, this is a team that I feel like added some pieces in free agency. Patrick Mekari, that fills a need at guard. Not that you're done, but that you don't have to shoehorn things into the draft. There are positions, though, that I feel like Jacksonville must address in the draft. Their primary need is a 3-tech defensive tackle. It just so happens for them that if everything goes according to plan, there should be one of those that falls right in your lap. Other needs that I have for Jacksonville, they still need another corner. I would like a tight end. I know they drafted Brenton Strange last year. I did not love him as a prospect. I still don't love him. I'd like to address safety. I know you signed Eric Murray, but I don't really know why. And I would like another linebacker. So let's get into this. The way we're going to do this, I'm going to pull up the PFF mock draft simulator. I don't know what's about to happen. I'm going to hit the button, and we'll see who's available on the clock, and I will make the best pick according to my board for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we're 4 picks in. That's not the order that I think this will go, but it is the 4 players that I think will be gone. Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Will Campbell. And for me, that makes it really, really easy because I don't think Jacksonville would think all that hard. Look, I get it. This kid's got shorter arms. There's some question about can he ever be elite. I don't really have that. It's Mason Graham. Look, if you look at the raw stats on this kid, excellent run defender, 12% run stop rate is out of this world. 92.6 run defense grade according to PFF. The pass rush win rate is not necessarily as high as I would like it to be, but I still think he can be an elite pass rusher at the next level. If I'm Jacksonville, I don't even think about it. I'm just going to click the button, and we'll see where things fall from there. So at number 5, I'm going Mason Graham. 36 comes back up. This would not be particularly tough for me either because I have a first-round grade on this kid. He's one of my favorite linebackers in the class. It's Demetrius Knight. Look, I'm going to be really good at stopping the run. I think corner is deep. There is a drop-off for me when you get out of Travis Hunter, when you get out of Will Johnson. There's a drop where I think the guy you get at the back end of the first round, the guy you get at the top of 3 are pretty similar. So I get one of my favorite linebackers in this class. The kid is just everywhere. You took Chad Moma out of Wyoming a few years ago, who I really liked, but he has not turned into the player that you would want him to be. So I'm a big fan of take the layup. Demetrius Knight should not still be here. I have him as a top 25 player in this class, and if I can get him at the top of 2, I feel like that and Mason Graham, I'm really getting somewhere with my defense. So let's go ahead and take Demetrius Knight. We'll see where things fall for pick 70. Still have 70, 88, 106, and 125 in this scenario. Okay, this is where things would get tough because in terms of talent, this is really easy. The question is how I feel about the medical. So I'm going to look at who else is on the board at corner. It's a staunch drop-off. I would be looking Noel Williams here. If I was going slot, which I'm not for Jacksonville, I think they need an outside corner. I would be considering Jacob Parrish. So for me, basically, this falls into 2 players. Do I want to go Dorian Strong out of Virginia Tech, who is a really good off-ball zone cover corner, or do I take the highest of high upside with a kid that should not still be here? And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go Benjamin Morrison. Look, the tape last year wasn't great. He only played 6 games. He's got a hip issue. The medical is everything with him. I would have had him in the first round had it not been for that hip. We just don't have a lot of information. Notre Dame's a private school. They don't release a lot. Benjamin Morrison was not very forthcoming with the media. So I don't know exactly where we are with that. But in terms of the raw player, you go back to 2023 when he was fully healthy. This was one of the best corners in the class. In the 3rd round, I have 2 picks. So I can get a little, I don't want to say cute, but I can take a swing, which is exactly what I'm going to do right here. Benjamin Morrison, cornerback out of Notre Dame. So if I'm looking at my team needs, I feel like I've done a lot to really address what it was that I wanted to do, but I still have players that are on the board that I like. Who at 88, this goes perfectly. I'm not sure that this kid will be here. I'm almost tempted to. I'm going to talk about him, but I'm not going to take him because I don't think he'll be here. Jonas Avanyea, if he was here, home run, no doubt. I don't find that to be realistic, so I'm not going to do that. But if he were here, absolutely no doubt. The kid I'm going to take, who I do think will be here, is Marcus Mbow from Purdue. He's listed as a tackle. He played tackle at Purdue. He's a right tackle. Started at guard in 2022, and the tape was pretty good. I think this kid can be a developmental guard. Signing Mekari, having Cleveland on that line, I don't necessarily need him to play right away. He can play tackle in a pinch, so he would be a nice swing tackle. I'm going to develop him as a run-blocking guard to replace Mekari a year or two from now. I think it's good value. I have Mbow in my top 100. He's right at the back of it, but it's still solid value. So right here, I'm going to take Marcus Mbow out of Purdue. I feel like I've really done a good job of addressing my needs. I'm going to go back to my board. I've addressed 3-tech, which was my number one need with Mason Graham. I got the corner in Benjamin Morrison. I'm going to try to double down on that if I can. Still looking for a tight end, still looking for a safety, and I got my linebacker in Demetrius Knight. The way this board fell, I'm really tempted on 2 names. Harold Fannin Jr. The problem with him is I kind of think he's a hat on a hat of what I already have with Brenton Strange. So I'm going to look to the safety. I'm going to replace Andre Cisco. Undersized safety, but elite cover guy, Andrew Mukuba out of Texas. This kid was at Clemson. I got to see him firsthand when he was here in the South with the Clemson Tigers. Elite cover guy. He's just small. If he was 2 inches taller, he's listed at 6 foot 190. That is not what he came in at the combine. He is light. He is a light kid. Actually, I do think that is what I think he came in right over a touch over 6 foot and right around 190 pounds. But in terms of coverage ability, he's got it in droves. The question is, can he tackle? Because he does not have the body frame. But here at the back end of 3 with this pick in the 100, right at 100, I'm good with it. I'm going to take the shot on Andrew Mukuba out of Texas. That's at 106 at the beginning of 4. I have one more pick. 125. I'm considering a lot of stuff here. Let's see what's on the board at tight end. Oh, that's going to be impossible for me to not do because I love the idea of pairing him with Brenton Strange. Mitchell Evans, guy I'm way higher on. I think he's going to come into the NFL and be kind of a Cole Kmet type of player. He's not crazy athletic. He's not freak strong. He's not any other. He's just a really soft hands wide receiver. That 6.5% drop rate's a little bit misleading. I don't think he has hand issues. I think he has really soft hands. Comes in as a 2. Nice pairing with Brenton Strange because Strange is the more athletic guy. I can use Evans as a matchup nightmare because he is a big kid. And for me, this would be an absolute A+ for Jacksonville. Let's recap what we did here. Get PFF to give me a grade. I don't typically tend to agree with their grades, but we'll see what they say. All right. I'm going to move that over just a skosh. All right, we got Mason Graham at 5. I love that. That's an A. PFF gave me a C on Demetrius Knight, which is smoking crimes. That would be elite getting a linebacker right there in a class that linebacker is not very good. Benjamin Morrison, I take the risk on. The medical, I don't love it, but I love the player. Marcus Mbow as a guard tackle of the future. Andrew Mukuba as a coverage safety, and then Mitchell Evans as my second tight end. If I was evaluating this as an evaluator, I would walk away from this as an A+ for the Jacksonville Jaguars. But what do you think? What does Jacksonville need in the draft? We're covering this for every day leading up to the draft, and we will be there live for all 3 days of the draft in Green Bay. We might be sleeping in the Parks Ford Mobile Studio because hotel rooms are about $800 a night in Green Bay. Stop putting the draft in places like this. Sorry. If you like this video, click the thumbs up button. It helps more than I could ever say. And subscribe to the channel for all things Jacksonville Jaguar and NFL Draft. We're covering it all live right here. NFLDraft.net's the website. My player rankings will be up next week. My top 100 is done. My top 25 at every position is done, and those will be going up on the website next week. It's NFL draft season. It's my Christmas. We call it Draftmas. I'm Jeremy Green of ESPN Radio Asheville and NFLDraft.net, and this has been a 4-round mock draft. Added a player that I forgot about for the Jacksonville Jaguars.